Hey, it's Joe, and I'm back with a small tutorial. A lot of people asked me how I built these eco pods, so I thought, well, let's see if I can put together a quick little tutorial for you. The first thing to note is that there actually is no walls. This is a fence, and that's a roof above it. These circular pieces are fairly easy to make, and you can make it of any size, and you just choose the foundation pieces here at the right size. You cannot obviously make them any bigger or any smaller. They are what they are, and you place them, and then you rotate them, and you connect them all. And when you connect them all, you get a perfectly round circle, and you remove all the fences, and you've got your base. However, I've already created my own to save a lot of time, and I use them all the time. I think they actually are on the gallery, so you can just use those. So the trick to creating these floating pods is that you cannot have a foundation clearly, or even a stilts, otherwise it doesn't appear like it's floating. So what you want to be doing is creating the first piece, which of course is on the ground and has a foundation. You then copy that and you go up level. It may help to build a small room on that pod, just so that you get a grid on top, so that you can take your bottom piece and copy it. And sometimes it's a bit tricky to get it to align directly above, like that. Now you can delete not only that room, because you'll not be using it, but if you go down a level, you can see that the example that I've got actually disappears when you go down to ground level, because technically this is a first floor that is floating and then pulled down to water level. What we've got here, that's the level, as the same level as that. So what you want to do is go to the lower level, delete that, and the room obviously. It's not always necessary to have this little room, but I find sometimes it helps. Now you've got a floating circular piece with a hole in it. Sorry about that. You've got a circular piece. Now what you want to do is grab it and pull it down. This is where the tricky part is. It's difficult to get it aligned. Sometimes it goes right below the water level, and sometimes it's above the water level. It also depends on exactly what you're going to do with it and what you need. In this case, I have a between floors trim, like that. So once you apply it, you can then judge just how high you want it to go up or down. If you pull it too far down, it'll go down below the water, if that's the look you're going for. Alright, it won't. Perhaps because I've already got that existing first floor level there, so it won't go below that. So now you've got your base. See, it looks almost identical to that. You can place, and just to expedite things, I'll just copy the roof over instead of recreating. You can actually place the roof directly down on your foundation, which is what I initially had. If you look at the build video for the Solani water wedding pods, you'll see that that's how I initially started, but then I realized that the Sims would not go through. They would not go through those doors into what I've got the interior sort of planting. So what I realized is that, let me undo that. Roughly in this spot, I had the wedding venue, and that they could go through if there was a fence and there was a gate. The gate creates a sort of a portal that they can get through the fence. And I'm not sure which for the wedding venue I use this fence, but for this one I'm not sure which I use. Let me just use the eyedropper, which packet came from. And there we go, Tranquil Divide, and it's from the Jungle Adventure. Alright, so this is always a tricky thing to get the fence to go on. So now you've got basically your wall, and that's what you're seeing here. I prefer just the look of the dome directly on the foundation, but it doesn't work with Sims. Now the tricky part is to get the roof over it, because you cannot simply pick it up and put it on top, it'll go straight down to the floor because it doesn't recognize the fence as a structure that it can go over. It's technically not a room, even though you do have a fence in it. So let's undo that. So what you need to do is you need to put down a room. And you need to put a room down on the ground floor like that. Well, perhaps not like that. Let's move that down. Okay. Then you copy that again, once again, to the top floor. You delete your foundation level, and then you drop this. Now, this is where you have to align it by pull the room so it is just above your fence height. You then take your roof. Sometimes it's required that you actually take the walls off before you can actually get the roof to sit. And I think this is one of those cases. So let's just delete all the walls on that. I also find that it helps to just simply reduce the roof like that. Then you can place it on top of that floor, and now you have a floating roof. However, you cannot pull this roof over that because the two levels are not aligned, so the roof will not go over that. But there is a trick where you simply pull the floor away. You can just delete it, but I find if I need to correct the heights or anything, it's easier just to move that back than to recreate the whole issue. Now you can actually take your roof and it will span over. You see, and then I go and check that the level is correct. It's exactly perfectly over. You cannot move the roof at this stage. You have to drag it into place until it eventually aligns with your foundation. Well, it's not a foundation because it's technically the first floor. And this is how you create the dome. Now, the part of this tutorial is how do you get the sim to go through. Now, I said that you obviously can use any kind of portal. I just grabbed a door from my existing section on the left there. If you place and let's try to jump up, so let's just lower the roof. It's got nothing to snap to. For some bizarre reason, it's still snapping. Alright, let's leave that for now. I'm not going to recreate the system. I'm just simply going to copy and paste. Let's just delete that. It's insisting on placing it on the bottom floor. And these are the struggles you go through creating these odd designs. Alright, let's just do two. Copy, place that one on top. Delete the bottom one. Pull that back down. And now they should align. There you go. See, now you can actually, and it should be almost aligned. There we go. Move it one over. You've now got two sections that are on the same level, but the sim will not cross that threshold for some bizarre reason. Even though they appear to be connected, the sim will not go through until, and that for some reason has gone up a level. It's just, as soon as you put any kind of portal, which would be a door, a fence, I use the gate, this gate from the Hazard Gate, I think it's from, yes it is from Get Famous, and I simply took one of these. Well, actually there's a large one. I used different sizes depending on which, for the places where I wanted to create an invisible connection, I use this tape fence. That gives the sim an ability. Let's see if my sim is able to get there. No. Right, he needs a staircase. Anything will do. But you'll see he'll cross over. And it starts to rain. Lovely. Let's go back into build mode. So as soon as you put down any kind of threshold, it becomes like a portal. In Sim, it's really just a portal from one area to the other. So this is how you connect two different round pieces, or even a square piece to a round piece, and you give them access. And the roof has disappeared. This is something you need to know. You need to put down the roof. The last thing you do is put the roof on it, because you do anything like connect two pieces of foundations, put a fence up, stairs, anything. You do anything to it and the roof is deleted. So now I would literally have to repeat the process, which would be the same. I'll show you quickly again. I would reuse. Alright, let's just make that smaller. This is a good way to show you how you would reuse that piece of, except it's on the wrong level. You need to move it one down. There we go. Nope. Onto there. Now we need to move that out of the way. Re-stretch the roof over. And that's how you get the roof back on. But remember, every time you change anything, the roof will be deleted. But it will still be aligned. If you keep that original little bit of floating room, you can repeat this process. Anyway, I hope that helped. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. If you've got any comments for me, do leave them below in the comment section. And I hope you enjoyed this. Have a fantastic day ahead.